Minnesota Vikings have been fairly active in free agency this offseason. The immovable Dalvin Tomlinson stitching up that defensive line. The remnants of Patrick Peterson. Can he bring back that love and feeling? As well as Nick Vigil, linebacker. But the Vikings have yet to address the offensive line. And after the release of competent veteran left tackle Riley Reef, him signing with the Bengals, the Vikings have multiple gaping holes on the offensive line, pun intended. So the Vikings, you only have three dudes that you know are going to be part of the plan. Ezra Cleveland, Garrett Bradbury, Brian O'Neill. Maybe Oli Udoh and Kyle Hinton get in the mix, but ideally, you go into the draft not having major glaring needs where teams would know that, hey, when you're up in the draft, especially early, you have to hit offensive line. So the Vikings could get leapfrogged, or you could be in a spot where you have to pass up on insane value because we can't ignore the offensive line. So the Vikings should address the offensive line in free agency before the draft. The Vikings have cleared a cap space. They have about $9.1 million in usable space as of right now. That is before the Rudy money on June 1st. So again, as of right now, here are the top 10 remaining free agent offensive linemen for the Minnesota Vikings. Up at the top, you got Kansas City Chiefs former left tackle Eric Fisher, the former number 1 overall pick in 2013. Popped an Achilles, but should be good to go for the offseason and training camp. 80.1 PFF grade last season, the highest of his career, and he can just get after it. And yeah, if you do bring him aboard, I think he planned his ass at left tackle. Sorry, Ezra, you're going to stay inside at guard. The next couple are all interior offensive linemen. So Austin Blythe of the Rams, former Rams starting center, former Iowa Hawkeye, 28 years young, 6'3", 298. Bit surprising that he's just out there chilling. He would be a perfect scheme fit for the Vikings if they want to stick with the outside zone. 73.3 grade last year, 31 pressures, 5 sacks allowed. Could play guard to start and then swing into the pivot if Garrett Bradbury doesn't work out long term. And then you have the two Chargers guards, which, yeah, the Chargers offensive line last year was booty, but I think the total is larger than the sum of their parts. Forrest Lamp, the former 2017 second round pick, injury history, but a dynamic athlete, would be a crusher in the outside zone scheme. Then you have Trey Turner, a little bit more of a power interior offensive lineman, 5-time Pro Bowler with the Panthers. Down season last year with the Chargers, but is only 27 years old and hopefully could regain his Pro Bowl form. Then also you have former Vikings center guard Nick Easton, formerly of the Saints, has met with the Texans and the Bengals, but bring it on back. Number 6, Russell Okung. So he left the Vikings at the altar in 2017. People don't know that he was initially really interested and about to sign a free agent deal with the Vikings, but then decided to, and then the Vikings signed Riley Reef. But still 33 years young, still can do the damn thing. Last year, a 73 PFF grade in 7 games. Ironically, he was traded straight up for Trey Turner, but he was solid when he was healthy and played for Carolina. Plus, the Vikings could pay him in Bitcoin. So there we go. 7, Mitchell Schwartz. Even though Mitchell Schwartz is probably the best player on this list, he is lower on there because he will probably cost the most. He's 31, 6'5", 320, was the second highest graded right tackle in 2019. Did have some injuries last year, caused him to miss the Super Bowl, just like Eric Fisher was also let go. And Schwartz would involve the most moving parts because he is a right tackle. It's all that he's played at Cleveland as well as with Kansas City. And then what do you do? Move Brian O'Neill? Do you move Ezra? What do you do, right? So that would involve the most musical chairs parts, but I do like Mitchell Schwartz as a player, even though he's going to cost you a pretty penny. 8, so Zach Fulton. Zach Fulton was a dude, man, with the Chiefs and then initially with the Texans, but last year just fell off the map. 63 PFF grade last season, 39 pressures and 11 sacks allowed. For comparison, Dakota Dozier, 46 and 6. So he wasn't good. He was a weak link on a pretty bad offensive line for Houston last season, but is only 30 and hopefully could recapture some of his early career prowess. Lane Taylor, Packers, was an interior offensive lineman, can play some tackle as well. Played 1 game last year, ironically, against the Vikings, then got hurt, missed the rest of the season. Would be a cheap veteran option. And then finally, Michael Schofield of the Panthers, 31 years young, formerly of the Chargers and the Broncos. Now, the Vikings have been tied to him in terms of free agent interest and potentially even trade interest before, but he was the Broncos starting right tackle in 2015, coming out of the University of Michigan. Does have familiarity with Kubiak and Dennison, would be a solid scheme fit on the inside. Also not listed, but James Carpenter of the Falcons, 32 years young, former number 25 overall pick, played for the Seahawks, the Jets, as well as the the Falcons. Dennison actually coaching with the Jets in 2018 would add some size and some stoutness on the Vikings tier offensive line for a very cheap rate. So I think the Vikings could and should be in the market for free agent offensive lineman, one at least, maybe even two before the draft. So if you have some combination of Fisher and Blythe, or Blythe and Lamp, or Easton and Blythe, or Mitchell Schwartz, ooh, get it done, and Forrest Lamp, whatever. So even though the Vikings didn't get their top choices in free agency along the offensive line, that's okay. They still have money to spend. There's still some decent names out there, and the Vikings need to ink up one or two. Now, this could also wait as well, since there is more money freed up after June 1st, even though that could go to Daniil or Harrison Smith, that the Vikings could have the draft, and then they wait until May, until June, to sync up some of these free agent offensive linemen where they potentially could still be available, because I think that you will see a lot more teams just sort of chill, just sort of wait, bring in the cheap guys in the draft, and then wait to fill out the rest of the 90-man roster in free agency a little bit later on. So, yeah, they got the money, they got the motivation. Let's get after it and get some of these offensive linemen in-house. But your thoughts, top 10 free agent offensive linemen still available as of right now? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, pull some of the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.